Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. In tonight's show, a sci-fi enthusiast goes that extra mile for charity. And I'm joined in the studio by Brian Mather from Hull, who served 38 years in the Coldstream Guard ahead of the band's concerts in aid of regimental charities. But first, here's James Dunn with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, uncertainty for local train services and a Scunthorpe actor who presents here on Estuary is to get his debut at Cannes Film Festival. Councillors are concerned over uncertainty for rail passengers from April next year, when TransPennine Express's franchise to operate local lines runs out. Adding to the concern is that the operator's lease for trains and carriages runs out at the same time and they've been offered to another operator. A spokesman for TransPennine said that they are in talks to renew the lease and locate new rolling stock, but Council Leader Chris Shaw remains concerned about how any disruption would affect tourism.
Well, the idea is it's a chance to regenerate the town centre, and that's what regeneration is. It's about making your town centres vibrant. We took the risk of doing the bus station and doing the open area to get developers to invest in the town centre. We've got this being announced today. In April we've got another multi-million-pound development. This is a £12 million development into Grimsby Town Centre. You know, it's a fantastic news for the town.
Hundreds of teachers across the region strike today over increased workloads, performance-related pay and pension changes. Some schools have been forced to close as part of the National Union of Teachers dispute with the government, while many more operate partial closures. Rallies will be held in Hull and Lincoln as teachers walk out. Councils have advised parents to check arrangements with individual schools. Siemens and ABP have announced a landmark £310 million investment in wind turbine production and installation facilities in Hull. It will directly create 1,000 jobs at two locations, Greenport and Alexandra Dock, and more in the construction and supply chain. Siemens has pledged double the £80 million expected, and ABP will work with them at the Greenport site. The combined investment also creates 300 more jobs than originally expected.
As part of this, we'll be looking at whether or not there needs to be a college in order to train people. Siemens are very good at training their own staff, so they get people exactly with the skills they want. But we've also got money already lined up from Regional Growth Fund applications in the past that will help to get people into employment. And that's key. We've got to translate those jobs into employment locally for local people because we've got to boost the economy.
Police are looking for 3 men in connection with an assault that left an 18-year-old with a broken collarbone and ligament damage to his leg. The 18-year-old was assaulted on Briggergate and Pelham Road in Grimsby in the early hours of Wednesday, March the 5th. Police now want to speak to a stocky white male in his late teens with spiky blonde hair, a slim dark-skinned man around the same age with dark hair, and a slim white male in his early 20s with mousy brown hair. More than 13,600 homes in North East Lincolnshire are in fuel poverty, struggling to afford to heat their homes. That's according to North East Lincolnshire Council, which is advising people to seek advice from the Home Energy team on how to make bills more affordable. They can advise you on energy savings and whether you're eligible for any discounts or financial help with home improvements. Councillor Ray Oxby, portfolio holder for Environment, said that National Fuel Poverty Day this Friday is the perfect time to get help. Call the Home Energy team on Grimsby 324 782. Police are searching for the next of kin of a Hull man who was sadly found dead in his home last week. 68-year-old Leslie James Marrow of Graspy Road was found by police on Thursday, but they have been unable to identify his relatives. Anyone who can help is asked to call the Coroner's Office on 01482 613 009 or Humberside Police on 101. A computer system developed by Northern Lincolnshire and Goole NHS Foundation Trust has won national recognition and a £1.6 million cash injection. Web5 or WebV clinical portal provides real-time information on each ward, including the number of patients, their ailments and when they were last checked. The system was showcased at the Health and Care Innovation Expo earlier this month and has secured a £1.6 million from Safer Hospitals, Safer Wards Technology Fund, which will pay for further development. A Scunthorpe actor who presents Estuary TV's own Our Coastline is to appear in 2 films shown at Cannes Film Festival in May. Naj Modak is in 8, a short film set in the Tudor period, and Shongram, a feature film about love and survival during Bangladesh's struggle for independence. Sean Graham also stars actors Anupam Kher, who appeared in Bend It Like Beckham and Silver Linings Playbook, and Asia Argentino, who starred alongside Vin Diesel in Triple X. Scunthorpe-based Nudge said everyone involved has worked really hard, and acceptance into Cannes shows how far local actors and filmmakers can go. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.
Now, anyone who's been to a sci-fi convention will know that Star Wars fans rarely miss an opportunity to dress up as some of their favourite characters. But last week, we met a man who's taken it to the next level. Justin Arnold donned his Stormtrooper outfit in the middle of Hull City Centre, which was just the start of an epic challenge to raise money for charity Kidscape, which protects children who are bullied or experience domestic abuse. Here's James Dunn, who went to find out more about the Storm Runner.
This may be a familiar sight on the Death Star, but here in Hull it's raised a few eyebrows. And it may look like a stormtrooper, but it's actually Justin Arnold, Storm Runner, who this year is taking on a challenge only slightly less ambitious than ruling a galaxy far, far away.
Well, I'm running 10 long-distance races across the UK, a mixture of 10 miles, half marathon and full marathon, dressed as a stormtrooper in order to raise money and the profile of the charity Kidscape.
And this suit is no ordinary piece of fancy dress shop tat. This is a genuine piece of Star Wars memorabilia.
Everyone wants to know where it comes from. The costume, I can tell you, is actually made by the same designer who designed and built the original Stormtrooper costumes for the films back in the 70s. So this is an exact replica of the original Stormtrooper costume, using the same moulds and with the same guy down in Surrey.
Justin is no stranger to long-distance running. He did his first marathon more than 20 years ago, but doing so in this suit will be a whole different ballgame.
Well, long-distance running's got its own challenges anyway, but obviously they're compounded by the suit. The biggest two problems are flexibility and movability and heat. Obviously running in this suit was never something that the designers originally intended. So I'm cutting away sections of the suit, particularly around the legs, making it a little bit easier to lift the leg up and move. Heat is the other big problem, so we're building fans into the helmet and trying to create as much ventilation as we possibly can.
The money he raises might provide a new hope to children who have been bullied or suffered domestic abuse at home. But there's one more child who'll be on his mind as he notches up the miles.
Well, the inspiration for the costume comes down entirely to my 8-year-old son, Jack, who's a mad Star Wars fan. Pretty much everything in his bedroom has something to do with Star Wars. He's regularly playing Star Wars games. Every single wrapping paper in a tube has to become a lightsaber. He's one of the biggest fans, I'm sure.
He's young, but he will learn. Now, for many, this may seem like an impossible task, but luckily, the force is strong in this one. James Dunn, Estuary TV News.
Now, I'm joined in the studio by Brian Mather, who's come to tell us a little bit about the Coldstream Guards Band and their upcoming concerts for charity. Hello, Brian, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So what is it that's happening?
Well, the Coldstream Guards Band have come in to Hull to help us celebrate our 100th anniversary of the Coldstream Guards Association. And during that time, they're performing a concert in the City Hall, which is for regimental charities.
This is an amazing thing for people to be able to see, isn't it, really? Something that they might not have seen before.
It is, and people probably won't know of Coldstream Guards Band, but if they think back to watching Troop in the Colour, Buckingham Palace Changing the Guard, that's the Coldstream Guards Band, or one of the household division bands. Our band is the oldest band in the British Army. It's probably one of the best bands in the British Army. It's got 2 classical one hits, and it will be well worth seeing.
How many people are involved in this?
Well, there's 48 people in the band, plus the director of music. It won't be a normal band concert of just military music. It's a fun band concert, and it's well worth going to see.
And where is it that the money goes that's raised?
The money will go to regimental charities, and our regimental charity, when you join the Coldstream Guards, you join a family, and you're looked after. If anything happens to you, for instance, in 2009, we lost 7 of our soldiers. 6 soldiers came back with life-changing disabilities. We look after the bereaved families, and we also look after those people that come back with the life-changing injuries, and that's all done through the Coldstream Guards charity, and the band concert will help towards that charity. So the money goes to a good use of all these young soldiers who come back with handicaps, basically. And monies go towards helping them settle into civilian life, and then forever onwards we help them.
And what's your experiences?
Well, my experience is I wasn't in the band. I was a guardsman. I joined the army at 16 after a year in Civvy Street when I left school, and I left when I was 53. So my life has been the Coldstream Guards and the family that produces.
And I bet you have a lot of stories to tell, don't you? And you've seen a lot of things.
Yes, yes. I mean, I've been all over the world, obviously. I went to the first Gulf War, 9 tours of Northern Ireland. So yes, it's been a fantastic life for me and my family.
And what about this MBE?
Well, yes, everybody asks that. I got it for when we went to Iraq the first time. I was in an important job, and obviously somebody recognised that, and that's what I got it for.
And could I ask you what you were recognised for?
Well, it was basically I was the quartermaster of the 1st Armoured Division, which the quartermaster produces everything, food, boots, rifles, bullets, everything that a man uses in the field, the quartermaster is responsible for, and that's what I was responsible for. And then we went back to Germany, and of course we had the drawdown of Germany, and I had to hand a lot of equipment and barracks back to the Germans. So it was a pretty busy time.
God. And if you could start again as a young man, would you choose the same career that you've had?
I would go back in tomorrow if I could, but obviously I'm far too old now. But for me, and for any young man out there who is looking for a career, join the Coldstream Guards. It's a fantastic lifestyle, and you are well looked after. And you're looked after. There's an old saying that goes, once a Coldstreamer, always a Coldstreamer, and that is absolutely true. And we've got the Hull Branch Association is 100 years old this year.
And that's quite a big event, isn't it? 100 years old, that's a big
we're
thing.
having a dinner on Friday the 4th of April in the Guildhall. The Lord Mayor's been there, the Lord Lieutenant, very senior Coldstreamers will be there, and there's 167 people sat down, so it should be a very good night, followed by the band concert on the Saturday, which is the 5th.
And a bit about this band for people watching. How can they get tickets?
Well, they can get tickets back. They can go on the website for the City Hall, or they can get tickets by going on 01482 300 300, or they can go to the City Hall ticket office and buy them there. They're £10 for everybody, and it will be a good show. It
is an amazing charity, isn't it? And it does fantastic work for people, not only in this region, but around the country, doesn't it?
Yeah, once a Coldstreamer, always a Coldstreamer. And if you look at there was, say, 6 or 7 people killed in 2009, and 6 came back badly injured. Those are still being supported now, and there will be, whenever they need support, they will get supported. I mean, there's a bike ride at the moment going from Coldstream, near Scotland on the Scottish borders, and it's going out to near Paris, and there's a lot of cyclists going from the regiment, and they're all raising £2,000 each, and it's all going to the regimental charity to support all those people that need it.
And at the end of the day, this is something that even if a family member, isn't part of the Coldstream Guards or isn't part of the armed forces, that people can rally together and show support for these people.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a really good charity, and it's run properly. It's run by a trust in London, and it's got senior officers on the trust, and they decide how the money is paid out and where it goes, and it goes to deserving people.
That's fantastic. I'll have to leave it there. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Now, if you have any stories that you would like to share with us, you can get in touch by phone on Grimsby 315561, write on our Facebook page or tweet us at Estuary TV, or email us news@estuary.tv. That's all from us today. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.